on this computer. Okay. Fantastic. Well, welcome everyone. I'm so excited you guys are here joining us tonight. There's a lot of people still coming in the waiting room, but we're going to go ahead and get started. My name is Dr. Staci, and I'm going to be sharing with you information tonight about LifeWave, the stem cell activation patches, as well as the other patches as well too. I will be answering all of your questions, of course. So hopefully we'll be able to get to all those. You'll be able to answer or ask those in the chat, and I'll be able to answer those. But before we get started, I want to make sure that you understand that the information that I'm sharing tonight is for informational purposes only. I'm not your doctor, right? And so if you have questions about your health regarding what's going on with you, please check with your healthcare practitioner or your doctor. The information that I'm sharing tonight is not intended to treat or cure or to say I'm going to diagnose you with anything. I will be talking specifically about the clinical studies and about the patches, how they can help your systems in your body, your organs in your body, your cells, things like that. But I won't be referencing specific diseases. So if you happen to ask me, let's say, for example, what do you recommend for diabetes? Well, then we're going to talk about your blood sugar. Or if you say, well, what do you recommend for Parkinson's? We're going to talk about neurological things. So I can't address specific diseases or syndromes. I like you to think about your grocery list of problems. So we all have a grocery list, or if you have someone that shared the health tracker with you, that's a fantastic way for you to really kind of assess yourself and look at what's going on with you in many different areas and categories in your life, with your sleep and your energy and your vitality and your, your mental clarity and physical things like that. But I won't be if you say, hey, what do I need for this disease or this syndrome? Remember, I can't address those things. So let's talk about those symptoms that you're experiencing. Okay. So with that being said, let me explain this technology to you, what it is, how it works, and then I can get to your questions. And again, if you're just joining, I apologize. My voice sounds a little hoarse. I woke up yesterday morning with it gone for some reason, and I've got it back, but it's kind of scratchy sounding. So I may have to take some sips of water throughout. Hopefully not, but I do want to make sure that I get your needs met here too. So this is what our patch looks like, okay? And this is a non-transdermal patch. Non-transdermal means nothing is in this patch. Nothing is transferring into your body. And so you're probably familiar with a transdermal patch, like a pain patch, nicotine patch, birth control patch. Those are patches that put a substance or a chemical or a nutrient into your body. So they transfer through the skin, which is your largest organ, into your body. So this technology does not work that way. Okay, so just keep that to the side, right? So how does this work then? Well, that's what I'm going to explain to you. So this patch works with your body's heat or light that you emit. Right now here on the East Coast, it's almost completely dark outside. And so if I were to go outside and look for the neighbor across the street or an animal or something, I couldn't see them unless I was looking through night vision goggles. And then I would see the outline of them, right? The color, red, blue, green, yellow, that kind of thing. And so that is the heat that's being emitted off of the body. And that's what this technology works with, okay? So David Schmidt is the inventor of these patches, of the LifeWave patches. This company is not new. He's been an inventor his entire life. He's actually invented a dozen different patches. This patch specifically that I'm going to be talking about first is the X39 stem cell activation patch. It took David 10 years in the lab to figure out how to do what I'm going to tell you that this patch does. And during that time, and even before that, and since then, he's invented other patches. But this patch specifically has a 20-year patent on it. And so that means that obviously all of our patches are patented, and you can't find out what is actually in this that does the things I'm going to say. But know that it's backed by science, research, clinical studies, double-blind placebo from independent labs and researchers all over the globe that have been done with people, okay? So know that you can find that information on startx39now.com. All the clinical studies, all the research, all the data, the patents, everything is there in one site. But basically, David has figured out how to use our body's own heat or light that we emit to be able to signal specific peptides in the body. So let's talk about X39 and how that works. So this patch, you see that white part? Embedded in that, and all the patches look the same, they have all this crystal lattice structure. So embedded in this patch is a crystal lattice structure. And I always do this. I want you to picture, like I grew up in the Midwest, and so we would have decks, and those decks would have lattice underneath them, right? So you can see what that looks like in your mind, that lattice structure, right? And so that's what David has invented. That's a proprietary blend of organic amino acids, sugar, oxygen, salts, and water. The molecules, okay, not table sugar, salt, or amino acids from your pre-workout, but actual molecules that form together in a very specific way to form this lattice structure that's embedded in that white part. So when we put the patch on our body's heat or light reflects back a very specific wavelength of light from that lattice. That wavelength of light is what is actually going into our body. And that is signaling a peptide called GHKCU, copper peptide. So if you're familiar with infrared saunas, I don't know if you guys have seen red light therapy, blue light therapy, or have heard of saunas, infrared saunas. I have one in my gym. And so when I sit in that sauna, I could push a button and it says detox. Specific wavelengths of light will enter my body. I don't see them, obviously. I don't feel them, but they're going into my body to detox the cells of my body and the organs of my body. I can push a different button on my sauna and it says anti-aging, and different wavelengths of light will enter my body and help to anti-age my body, my skin, right? I can push a different button and it says weight loss. So again, different wavelengths, different button, cardio works for my cardiovascular system. So if you understand that light, wavelengths of light impact our body. Mostly what I'm talking about, obviously, is a positive way, but you can also look at microwaves, which are extremely toxic, right? Detrimental wavelengths, going into the body or into your food. Obviously, we can look outside, towers, 5G, EMFs, things like that. Even from our computers are not beneficial, right? And so what this patch does, different patches, each patch, different ones, signal different peptides because it's different solutions. So different wavelengths of light are entering the body. So hopefully that makes sense to you guys. So you put the patch on in the morning. This is actually an Eon I just threw on right now, which would probably be really good, hopefully, to get my voice back. I've been using Eon every day. Obviously, I always use Eon, but I've been putting it up in this area all day long and yesterday. So Eon, or excuse me, X39 is a patch that signals that peptide GHKCU, copper peptide. That peptide is responsible for resetting a third of your genes back to their young, youthful, healthy state. So picture in utero, exposed to anything on this planet, right? That could be toxic or harmful. So resetting a third of your genes back to their young, youthful state. I think Leah's typing in the chat for me. Leah, could you put in reverse aging with GHK.com? That's where David started his research over 15 years ago, was with a Dr. Lauren Bacart, who has spent literally 50 years doing clinical studies with people and showing the benefits of elevating GHK. Thank you, Leah. There's a website in there. You guys can click on that for more information. But basically, this patch is going to reset a third of your genes. One of those genes is responsible for mobilizing stem cells. So the X39 is a patch that activates, elevates, mobilizes your own stem cells. Stem cells are not going into your body, okay? That's not what this is. This is not donor cells or aborted fetal cells or anything like that. This is signaling your body to do what it did when you were a kid. When you were born, you had an abundance, millions and millions of stem cells. Well, as we age, our body's stem cells become dormant, right? That's why by the time in your 30s, you start to see the signs of aging. Those stem cells, about half of them are just chilling. They're like, I'm tired, I'm wore out, right? That's why you start to feel the aches and pains, metabolism issues, sleep issues. How many of you have walked into a room and been like, why am I in here? And you got to turn around and walk out and come back in. Though that's kind of mental things that start to change in your 30s, right? Well, by the time you're in your 60s, you have less than 10%. Less than 10% are active. So this activates your stem cells, elevates your stem cells, mobilizes them, resets them back to their young, youthful, healthy state. And that happens over time. So people always ask, okay, so I put this patch on the morning, I leave it on 12 hours, take it off, throw it away, or put it on your pit. How long do I have to wear this? Is this for the rest of my life? And I always tell people, this is up to you. Sorry, I'm gonna have another little, I apologize. Talking so much. I love it. But it's up to you how long you wear the patch. You can wear the patch. We always recommend based on your age. So 1 month for every 10 years you are old is what we recommend. You can wear this forever. I've been using this patch for 2 years because of the ability that it has for reverse aging, for not only repairing and regenerating every single thing in my body, but also reversing the functionality of my cells and tissues and organs. So I use it for prevention, for vitality, for longevity. That's what I've always been interested in. But if you have something going on with you, the questions you guys are going to be asking, I'm sure here in just a little bit, you'll definitely be able to use this to help get your body back into balance, back into what we call homeostasis. And that's super important. And that happens over time. It is not a quick fix. Stem cell regeneration, waking up your stem cells is going to take time. 1 month for every 10 years you are old to get up to that full stem cell regeneration point. Now, past that, everything, the longer you use it, the more benefits you're going to achieve and receive from the patch. So that's a beautiful thing about this. Again, like I said, it's non-invasive. There's nothing going into the body. It's very safe. It's very effective. It's very affordable. It's literally the price of a cup of coffee a day. And you have no side effects. You have no contraindications to any medications or supplements or anything you're currently doing or using, which means that it is probably the simplest thing on the planet to use, right? People ask me all the time, well, if I'm taking medications, do I stop? Absolutely not. Don't stop anything cold turkey. If I'm taking supplements, do I stop? No, don't stop taking anything. Keep doing what you're doing. If you're on medications, you're obviously working with a doctor. Someone had to write that prescription, right? So monitor, let them know you're using a non-transdermal patch and your goal is to get off the medication and you would like for them to monitor whatever that may be, your blood pressure, your A1C, I don't know, whatever it is that's going on with you so that you can achieve the goals that you want with your health. And this is a tool that you're going to be able to use to do that. Now, obviously, there are some supportive patches. Like I said, David has invented a dozen patches over the last 20 years. And I will share with you the first patch is Energy Enhancer. This is what got David started. He was given the idea by God, by the divine, to create this patch called Energy Enhancer for the Navy SEALs 20 years ago. And he was contracted by the Department of Defense for his company. Like I said, he's always been an inventor. And he was asked to help with the problem the SEALs had with amphetamines, caffeine, uppers, all that kind of stuff on their missions. Days on end, weeks on end. And so he came up with the idea by God, right? It was given to him to create a patch that turned body fat into fuel or triggered beta oxidation. And so Energy Enhancer was our first patch. 9/11 happened, country took a different turn. Obviously, David was not needed on that project. He started working with the Stanford swim team. And then from there, got into clinical studies and USA Olympic swim team and whatnot, started LifeWave a little over, I guess almost 19 years ago now. So basically, over this time frame, he's invented different patches. I'm not going to go over all of them in detail, but when you ask me about specific things, you're going to hear me talk about different patches, and I'll give just a little bit of a tidbit. But again, if you go to startx39now.com, you can actually see David does a video on each patch individually, an hour long. Plus, he also has a short, like 30-minute video where he kind of highlights all of them if you want a more, in-depth as well too. So with that, I'm going to start answering your questions so I can make sure I get to all of those. I feel like sometimes we don't get to all the questions. We get to the end of the time and it's like, no, we need to. So Shar says that she has a friend that's been rotating X39 Eon and glutathione below the navel for several months. She noted skin discoloration concerned her in that area. Placing patches inside the clothing didn't help reduce discoloration. Now she has not been placing in the area for at least 2 months and it's faded 50%. So I've not seen it discolor people's skin. I don't know what would cause a discoloration. That's not something we see with people on a regular basis. I would have her pick a different spot and keep it in that other spot. So when you look at the patches, each patch, again, we have over 90 clinical studies, and our clinical studies are rooted in traditional Chinese medicine. So each patch has an instruction booklet that will show you options, places to be able to apply the patch. So maybe there's something going on with her skin in that area. Obviously, I'm not really sure about that because I don't see her or anything, but I would have her pick a different spot for the patches. You said X39, Eon, glutathione. So this is the Eon booklet. So if she's using this spot over and over again, pick a different spot. Put it, somewhere else. And then same thing with glutathione. There's an instruction booklet for glutathione. Pick a different spot. You can pick from any of these spots. And honestly, any spot works. We typically do back of the neck or below the belly button because, again, clinical studies, these show that impacts specific organs and systems in the body. But you can put the patches anywhere. They are going to signal peptides no matter what. Our whole body is emitting heat. And so no matter where you apply the patch, it's going to work to elevate that peptide. So keep that in mind. Testosterone. So the patches don't increase your testosterone level. We do have a patch called SP6, which does balance the endocrine system. And so we know that endocrine system is responsible for many different hormones and processes inside of the body. When you look at specifically hormone balancing, when you look at testosterone in studies, we look at the Shine and Dream. This is the most recent invention of David's. He invented this actually for himself personally last year. He'll be 60 this month. And his testosterone was doing what it does when you age and dipping. He didn't want pellets. He didn't want shots. He didn't want to do anything that was synthetic or even, bioidentical. He wanted to invent something himself to be able to balance his own hormones. And he said it was too good not to share with the world. So he invented Shine and Dream, which are used to balance your hormones. We can see from clinical studies, even in the first 3 days, the elevation of testosterone. So I would take a look at that. Now, if you're on testosterone supplements, pellets or shots or whatever, you wouldn't want to use this because you're already elevating yours. It would have to be if you're not on something currently to balance your hormones. What would you say to someone who has not felt any benefits after 2 months, has been consistent in drinking water? So here's the thing with our clinical studies. Most people, about 80%, are going to see something, feel something in the first 3 to 6 weeks. The other 20%, it's going to be 3 to 6 months before they notice anything. So they may just be in that percentage of people that's 3 to 6 months. Here's what you have to remember. You don't feel your hair growing. You don't feel your blood flowing through your vessels. You don't feel your heart or your liver doing anything, right? And so we may not feel things at all in the beginning, and that's okay. I didn't feel anything for almost a month. And even at that, it wasn't anything that significant. For me, again, I'm using this for prevention, for vitality, and for longevity. I would ask a couple questions like, what patch are they using? Patches. What are their goals? Have they filled out their health tracker? Are they using supportive patches? Here's the thing with X39. Your body's stem cells are going to go to work in whatever order your body needs. You cannot direct them. So if you have an issue, you're going to need to use supportive patches to help address that issue specifically. If you want to achieve those results faster. So that's what I would ask. Okay. Every time you put X39, do more stem cells reactivate? What happens if you stop wearing it? And how long till stem cells deactivate those on older folks? So that's a good question. So you put it on every single day. We have a chart that shows like what's going to happen in the first 3 to 6 months, what's going to happen actually 0 to 3 months, 3 to 6, 6 to 12, that kind of thing. And so it depends on your age. It's not that it activates more every single day. I mean, I guess you could say it does, but it's something that happens based on your age over time to get up to that full stem cell regeneration. So let's say you wore it, say, Catherine, you're in your 60s and you wore this patch 6 months, okay? At that point, all of your dormant stem cells will be activated, mobilized, and moving around and reset, right? They're all going to be going to work. Depending on what's going on with you, obviously, it will depend on what you experience and feel. If you stop using the patch at that point, whatever benefits you gained on the inside with your organs and your systems and your cells, whatever benefits are your benefits. You won't automatically go back to that state that you were in 6 months before. Your body will just start aging from that day forward. Okay. So hopefully that makes sense. It doesn't deactivate them if you stop using the patch. Your stem cells are active, they're mobile, but your aging process and the decline of your stem cells will start happening slowly over time again, just as it would as you age, right? Yes, you can use the patches while using red light therapy or in the sauna. You definitely can, yeah. Can you explain why the patch works best when the body is well hydrated? Yeah, that's easy. Yeah, let me take a drink of water. So we are trillions of cells of light. We also are over 70, 80% water in our body. Our body needs water for the conductivity of the cells for this to work at the best, most optimal way. You want to stay hydrated no matter what. Half your body weight in ounces in water every day. Pure, clean, healthy water is your goal every single day. When your cells are hydrated, then things are going to communicate better. Cellular communication inside the body is happening all the time. For a lot of people, it's not happening really well because they're so dehydrated, because they drink coffee, they drink soda, they drink Gatorade, they drink alcohol, and they don't drink much water at all because they don't like the flavor of it. So if you don't like the flavor of water, take a gallon jug and soak it in water, clean, healthy water in like strawberries or lemons or limes or grapefruit or pineapple or mint, something, cucumbers, whatever, overnight, and drink it throughout the day, the next day, whatever that required amount is for you, right? This is being recorded. So yes, once the recording's done, it would be uploaded to my YouTube channel, Dr. Staci, DrStaci. Oh, thanks, Andrea. I don't think I sound cute, but thank you. Does blood pressure medication interfere with it? So here's the thing. If you're on medication, any type of medication, let your doctor know, hey, I'm going to be using this non-transdermal patch. My goal is to get off that medication, if that's your goal. It can bring your blood pressure down. We've seen that. Not bottom out where you're going to like pass out and die or anything, but it can bring your blood pressure down. So you're obviously monitoring that. And that would be a great goal, right? To get off of your medication. 2 weeks on Nirvana with supplement, no change, chronic pain, actually feeling worse. Suggestions. Yeah. So with Nirvana system, hang on, let me find it. All right, Nirvana. We have a supplement and a patch. The supplement's over there in the cabinet. So when you use them together, they increase what's called beta endorphins in your body. It's your body's natural painkillers. Based on our clinical studies, we can see that not only this is for depression, anxiety, mood, bipolar balancing, like all of that brain, right? We can see pain elimination in the body, like reduction of pain all over in between 1 to 3 weeks. Okay, everybody's different. So that's what our clinical studies showed from the Nirvana. So if you're 2 weeks in, I would give it time. Obviously, I don't know why you would be feeling worse. Hopefully you're staying hydrated, and hopefully you're also using the X39 and Eon. That would be fantastic. That's part of our pain protocol, is to increase your GHKC. We know that that causes pain reduction. And of course, reducing inflammation causes pain reduction. So I would definitely make sure you're on those. Nerve blocker injections have no effects on X39. X39 is signaling peptide, GHKCU. So no medication is interfering with that. It is a wavelength of light. It's happening literally at the speed of light inside of your body. Yes, 1 month for every 10 years you are old. So if you are in your 60s and you wear it 6 months, then your body's stem cells will be active and be up to their full stem cell regeneration point. So you will have all of them active by that point. I'm guessing you're saying the discoloration spot. Yeah, I don't know why that would discolor her skin. I've not seen that with anybody before. So I would just maybe use the aloe vera cream on it. Something's going on with their skin. Your skin is your largest organ. So maybe there's something detoxing there. I'm not really for sure. We haven't seen that. That's not common. Been on the Fantastic 5 for 5 months. Recently feel sciatic pain, old pain, not experienced for a long time. So sometimes, not always, I know this hasn't happened with me, but sometimes with people, they experience what we call retracing. And what that means is old pains, as your body's stem cells start going around literally inside and fixing things, they start going to an area and you may actually feel that area, that old issue, old injury, old pain. It will subside. Just keep patching. But sometimes that does happen for people. SP6 does not interfere with any medication at all. No. If I only use Shine, will it still balance hormones? No. You need to use them together. Shine increases oxytocin, which is that happy, feel good, connection, loving type of feeling, but you would want to use them together if you're looking for hormone balancing. They work differently and they work synergistically. Husband used to use the sleep patch for her first time this week. I don't know what bad NT is. Skip next night, good sleep, tried bad night, even worse, bad. He falls asleep instantly, always, then wakes up to 1 to 2 a.m. So is he on the X39 and Eon? I would ask that first. We see huge improvements in sleep with just those 2 patches alone. And with the silent nights, I'm guessing that's what you're talking about. I'm just not really for sure with your post there, Linda, but with silent nights, that's something you're going to want to use every single night. Again, you want to pick a spot. I don't know where you're. Let me see if I can find my little booklet in here. I don't know if I have silent nights in here or not. Here it is. So you would pick a spot and stay with that spot for at least 7 days. We can start to see changes in people from the clinical studies after 7 days. So I would pick a spot, whichever one you want, and stay with that spot for that 7-day period before you make a change. But make sure you're on X39. Make sure he's on X39 and Eon. You all start with X39, yes. Great question. All right, so Charlene said that, hang on, where's it at? There we go. She said that what if someone has tremors? So X39 is always our starting point, yes. We can use other subpatches. Like I said, Eon reduces inflammation. That's fantastic. When we look at neurological, we look at carnosine. Carnosine is a patch that works amazing for the brain, for the heart, for the organs, pancreas, things like that. But definitely I would use the carnosine as well too. There are other patches that you can use, but I would just start with those. It could eventually, if you wanted to, add glutathione. Obviously, when you look at neurological issues, there is a buildup of toxicity in the brain. Hopefully, they are working with some type of doctor that is helping to detox the body, specifically the brain. That would be very beneficial. And then, of course, X49, you can see benefits from that as well, too. GHK, that's a great question. Where is GHK made in the body? Everywhere. So it's peptides or chains of proteins, and they're literally everywhere in your body, right? So it's not one specific spot. It's not like they're made in the liver, right? Like we know Eon signals a peptide in the liver to upregulate your SOD and downregulate the different inflammatory markers in the body. GHKCU is a copper peptide that's everywhere in your body. Shine and Dream, they will help if you have a full hysterectomy. Yes, they balance hormones. Again, if you're on some type of hormone supplement or hormone medicine or something, you would want to talk to your doctor first. If glutathione detoxes the body of heavy metals, can they interfere with someone who has low iron? So glutathione is not going to interfere with low iron. If you have low iron, then obviously you're probably either taking an iron supplement or doing something maybe Ayurvedic medicine or something like that to increase your the iron in your blood, hopefully supporting that nutritionally. But detoxing the body with glutathione, you're looking at getting rid of mercury and cadmium and lead, things like that that are in all of our bodies from our food, our personal care products, the environment. Those are the type of heavy metals I'm referencing. Cholesterol. So when you look at the heart, X39, X49, Eon, carnosine, those are fantastic for the heart. I can't talk about Parkinson's and MS. Those are diseases. I can't reference those. But when you look at the brain, again, neurological issues, definitely the X39, Eon, carnosine, X49 would be amazing as well. If a patch Eon is needed on the neck for serious issue, where should the X39 go? Anywhere. You can put it anywhere you want. You can put it right below it. You can stick it on the front right here, like where mine is. It doesn't matter. Your whole body's light, so it's working no matter what, anywhere you apply it. For people who use Botox, will glutathione, Alavita detox the botulin away faster? We don't have any clinical studies on that, so I can't say for sure that it will or won't. It does remove toxins in the body, I'll tell you that. Alavita reduces oxidative stress and inflammatory stress. It's not a detox, but it does help to eliminate those stress cells in your body like that, but in a different way than glutathione. It signals the peptide in the brain in your pineal gland. So, but it could, but we don't have studies, so I can't say for sure. It's like parasites. I can't say for sure that glutathione is going to eliminate parasites because we don't have studies that say that, right? For nausea, I don't have a patch that would be beneficial for nausea. I would do your acupressure points, find out why are you nauseous? Is there something going on in your digestive system? Is it a regular thing? Is it a once in a while thing? Are you pregnant? I have no idea, but we don't have a patch for nausea. Eye health can be used on my dog with eye issues. So when we look at the eyes, we always look at X39, right? Stem cells are the holy grail of healing, so they can repair anything and everything. So I would start that. You take yours, Myra, off of yourself and put it on your dog. When we look at humans, we look at carnosine being very beneficial for the eyes. Autoimmune types of things, so immune system issues. Yes, it can definitely help. X39, Eon, glutathione, SP6, obviously balancing that endocrine system is very important. The plastic sticky area over the skin in the same spot, it's not getting oxygen for 12 hours, so move it around constantly. No, that is not needed. No, absolutely not. But maybe on that person, if you're referencing that person, maybe that, but that's not, don't need to move the patch at all. You can leave this patch on right here for 12 hours, take it off and then throw it away. You don't need to move it around. Can you give shine to a child who's 8 years old? You can, if you want to, it's your personal choice. If you feel like they need more love, connection, happiness, joy in their life, I would find out why they don't have that anyway, right? They're 8. They should be full of love and life and joy for sure. But I don't want to, I mean, it's not, I can't make that recommendation. It's not my child, right? Have there been any studies or reports on the COVID shots? So have patches been effective removing some of the unwanted ingredients floating around the body? So of course we have, cannot talk about this, right? For obvious reasons. So if you watch on my YouTube channel, I have a video of David being interviewed by a former Navy SEAL, and he talks about the shots and what patches. He shows microscopy where they actually did light field and dark field, where they pulled the blood from the finger and put it underneath the microscope. And he actually shows the slides. He started about 3 years ago when all that stuff came out and started looking at people's blood under the microscope with a MD, Dr. Brian Daly. So he references that in that video, and he does show the slides. And so he does talk about X39, Eon, and glutathione as helping to remove inflammation in the body, reduce inflammation, remove toxins and things like that. What patches can you wear at night? You can wear Alavida. And, well, let's just say this. You can't wear X39, X49, or Energy Enhancer at night. You cannot. Daytime only. The other patches are a personal choice, whether you do day or night, but you must wear Alavida and Silent Nights at night. They are nighttime only, not daytime patches. But the rest of the patches are going to be your choice, whether you do day or night. Only use Silent Night on forehead. I would pick a different spot. There's 4 other spots in there. I'd pick a different spot for sure. But again, I would definitely make sure, Linda, that he is using X39 and Eon and giving that time to help, because we do see from the clinical studies improvements in sleep, even in the first 3 to 6 weeks. X39 Eon since mid-October, Silent Night for nearly 3 months, still can't sleep more than a few hours and wake up around 3 a.m. 3 a.m. means her liver's toxic. So when you look at time frames, when you wake up in the middle of the night, 3 to 4 a.m. is a toxic liver. So if she's not sleeping good, number one, I would look at, where's your phone? What are the electrical things plugged in your bedroom, your TV, your lamps, things like that that are causing you, disturbance? Is your room cold? Is it dark? When was the last time you ate? If you eat close to bedtime, your body is going to be up all night trying to digest the food, and it should be resting, not trying to digest food and working. So I would look at, are you turning all the electronics off an hour before bedtime? What is your bedtime routine? Are you cool? What's your room look like dark wise? And then I would also look at using that glutathione for sure to help get some of those toxins out of your liver, because that's typically that 3 to 4 a.m. time is saying toxic, toxic, toxic. Make sure there's no coffee after 10 a.m., no Cokes, no caffeine, no glass of wine to try to sleep. You get no REM sleep when you're on alcohol. So I would ask all of those questions, Janice. Okay, fantastic 5. Okay, Nirvana worn daily on kid for 8 years old. Can't make any recommendations on kid. Obviously, because we don't have clinical studies on kids. That would be your personal choice. Can it help them with anxiety or stress or depression? Yes, it can help anybody with anxiety, stress, or depression. I would want to find out why an 8-year-old has anxiety, stress, or depression in their life, right? What is the root cause of that? Because again, kids should be happy. They should be joyful. They should be playful. They shouldn't have a care or a worry in the world. And so kind of the Nirvana can help anybody and everybody deal with emotional, mental stress and trauma in their life. But I would dig in a little bit farther than that, especially with a kid. What patches do you need to increase testosterone? There are no patches that's going to increase testosterone. Is it okay to put on patches after receiving acupuncture? Yeah, actually, we have lots of acupuncture doctors that utilize this technology in their practice. So when you look at these points, these are acupuncture points that are connected to very specific meridians in the body, which are very specific systems and organs that are being impacted by these exact points. So yes, you can definitely use the patches after acupuncture. I would talk to your acupuncturist about these patches because she's going to be really familiar with these points, she or he. What if you don't want testosterone in the body, but want SP6 for its other helpful features? So remember, these patches are all about balance. So they're going to signal peptides in order to help the body get into balance. So it's not going to signal something to throw it out of balance, okay? But if you have issues that you can't have a hormone, some people that have had breast cancer, for example, they can't have specific hormones in their body, then you would need to talk to your doctor about that with your specific case. 60 and have high testosterone. What can help me to balance? So, again, you're going to need to talk to your doctor about that specifically. Why is it high? What's happening in your body? And again, SP6 is about balance. So balance of your endocrine system. That would be the patch I would look at after X39 and Eon. Why is it out of balance? So if you are trying to conceive, all the patches are safe, absolutely. And once you're pregnant or nursing, then you would have to check with your physician. That would be a personal choice. If you accidentally sleep with a patch for that day, why can't you wear it? That's a great question. So when you wear the patch, if you fall asleep and you forget to take it off and you wake up in the morning, you're like, oh my God, I have my X39 on. Okay, take it off, throw it away, and wait 24 hours. We are light, and our body's light or heat that we're emitting is communicating with this patch. And it's much like the light in here right now. If I left this on all the time, it would burn out. It wouldn't be as responsive, right? And so we need to give our body that break so that we can signal it again the next day, 12 hours. Give it the break, signal it again. Give it the break, signal it again. It's okay. It's not going to hurt you. Just give your body that 24 hours. People have had COVID and haven't gotten their energy back all year. Will this help? So yeah, we have a lot of people that have been sick. They've had viruses and they have long-term effects from those. And so we can see benefits from the X39, the Eon, of course, energy enhancer. Yeah, Dr. Clinchy, thank you. Energy enhancer is amazing. He had this happen for himself. Carnosine, yes, definitely. Yeah, definitely what he said. Fantastic. Yes. Can a patch help nerve compression in the back, or neck, or lower back? Again, I'm not your doctor, so I would ask your doctor specifically what's going on. Why is there nerve compression? Do you mean your discs? Are things out of alignment? Are you seeing a chiropractor? I don't want to tell you this is going to move your discs in your body so that they're not compressing on your nerves. I will tell you from my personal experience when I started patching. Of course, I've been seeing a chiropractor since I was 18. I haven't seen a regular doctor since then. So 30 years. But my chiropractor, as I would go every single week, because I would take my daughter every week. She was in a wheelchair. And I would get adjusted to lifting her. She weighed 100 pounds, moving her, transferring her all day, every day. And so I would get just a weekly adjustment, just a little tune-up, right? Well, what he started to say was, you don't even need an adjustment anymore. Like, your body's not, there's nothing that needs to be realigned. And that stayed very consistent with me using the patches. So my adjustments went down quite a bit, where I would just go once a month and get a little tune-up, right? So I can't say for sure it's going to work that way for you, but that's what happened to me. Let's see. Yeah, Gloria had a fantastic experience from long stuff. Metal taste in your mouth, that's detox. Absolutely. A lot of people have that in the beginning, especially if they've had chemotherapy. They can taste the metal in their mouth for a few days. It's all about, yeah, definitely use glutathione. If you're not, I would definitely, because X39 increases your glutathione by about 30%. The glutathione patch is actually going to elevate your own glutathione level by over 300%. So I would definitely use the glutathione. If you're tasting metals, you've got you don't want metals in your body. You don't want metals. You don't want parasites. You don't want, somebody just said fungus. So yeah, you just detox the body. X39, Eon, glutathione, absolutely. Oh, nausea symptoms are related to headaches. Okay, thank you. That makes sense. So yeah, it can definitely help with headaches. X39 Eon LifeWave is our pain protocol. Eon, again, reduces inflammation. LifeWave is our on-the-spot pain elimination. So you would put this on your head, wherever your head is hurting, back of the neck, or, wherever. Headaches are very different for everybody. Of course, always X39. So that would be what I'd use for your headaches. Why have I been told to only wear carnosine every other day? That's a great question. I get asked this all the time. I really wish they would rewrite that instruction booklet. Carnosine was invented obviously a very long time ago. And it was a patch that was created initially to help with athletes building lean muscle mass and reducing the fatigue after, recovery and stuff with the muscles. So David assumed that people are not working out on a daily basis. And so they would use the patch 3, maybe 4 times a week, where athletes would use it every single day. Someone that exercises would use carnosine every single day. Well, as years have gone on, they didn't revamp that instruction booklet. But when you look at the neurological problems that are happening in our world, especially the last several years with people, carnosine is something that would dramatically benefit everyone to use every single day. We know that if you would just Google carnosine as a nutrient, not our patch, you could see that carnosine detoxes aluminum from the brain. Now we know that people are exposed to aluminum from deodorant, from aluminum pans, from aluminum foil. How many of you wrap your food up in aluminum foil? Hot food right off the grill and wrap it up with aluminum foil. You might as well just eat the aluminum foil. So carnosine is fantastic for a lot of reasons, for the brain, for the heart, and of course for the muscles as well too, but for the organs as well. So it can definitely be used every single day. All right, let me see here. Ringing in the ears. X39 Eon, put them back here. If you feel back here on the mastoid bone, back there, feel those bones? That's where I would put X39 behind one, Eon behind the other. And I would also take the energy enhancer, this one, and I'd put one, though there's 2 patches in this, a white and a tan. Tan patch goes on the left side, and the white patch would go over here on the right side. So that's what I would do. I don't think I have another. This one's empty. Let's see. It wasn't a doctor, it was a former Navy SEAL. So if you go to my YouTube channel and scroll down, it talks about the J A B . That's the title of the video. Do they have to go on the spots, or are there other places? I'm guessing you're asking about this. Woo. Hang on. My voice is about done. Hang on. Woo. Sorry, guys. So yeah, pick a spot here. Cindy, that's what you're meaning. I would pick one of these spots and stick with it for at least 7 days before you change to another spot. Itchiness, that may just be a little bit of detox from the skin. Let's see. Okay. Janice, maybe message me privately because I'm not really for sure what, I'm sorry, as the questions go on, I can't remember what we talked about before as far as what you were referencing. Linda Brain. And again, you guys, I apologize, my voice. So I'm talking, it's just getting tickles in it. X39 Eon, carnosine for sure. Aloe Vera does not interrupt sleep. No. We can see that aloe vera, not aloe vera, but the actual peptide that's signaled actually increases your own melatonin. So maybe for you, I would try a different spot where you're applying it. Okay, prostate. Can't talk about prostate cancer, but when we look at the prostate, I would use X39 and Eon. We see great benefits with these. Waking 3 to 4, what that means. I do not have a site to reference that, sorry. Yes, SB6 is endocrine system. In immunosuppressant drugs. So That's a great question. So are you on immunosuppressant drugs because you have an organ in your body that is not yours? That's my question. So Lori, if you can answer that, because that's the kind of caveat to our patches. We don't have clinical studies with any type of person that's had a organ transplant, like a heart, a liver, a lung, a kidney. So you definitely, if you have an organ in your body that's not yours, we can't say that it's safe to use the patches, okay? But if you're on immunosuppressant drugs because you have like autoimmune issues or whatever, then definitely that's a whole different ball game. And we have a lot of people in that situation that are using the patches. And then as far as post-cancer maintenance, X39, Eon, glutathione, carnosine are fantastic for that. Laura Balzer, who is a really good friend of mine, she's on here. She actually had stage 3 breast cancer. And so these patches have been a huge part of her continued recovery and remission. She cured herself naturally with food and IV vitamin nutrition supplementation. It's on my YouTube channel, yeah. Energy enhancer, I would definitely take those off at least probably 3 or 4 hours before bed. Do elderly people need to be on the patch the rest of their life? Well, it depends on what you consider elderly, honestly, and that's totally up to them. The longer they use it, the younger they will feel, and the more benefits they will gain. So it's a personal choice, obviously, but for the price of a cup of coffee a day, for it to be in your 80s or 90s and feel like you're in your 40s, it's pretty priceless to them. We know that for sure. AccuLife. It's identical to LifeWave. Nothing different. This one's licensed for pets, and this one's licensed for people. Same patch. So if you run out of LifeWave, you can use AccuLife. Nothing different. But yes, 12 hours on, 12 hours off. Knee, spine, hand pain. Put the patches wherever you want. As far as X39 Eon, put them near the area. Pick a spot and put them on there. So say it's your spine, wherever it hurts, put the X39, put the Eon below it. You would use the LifeWave. The LifeWave is a 2-patch system. So let me show you. Brent's going to get me more water. The tea is not working. It's making more of a tickle. So white right, tan left. So if it's your hand, right here, say for example, or here, tan left. Okay. A prevention. Here he comes. All right, for prevention, thank you. What is the best patch? X39 Eon, glutathione for sure. Lymphoma. So when you race it, if you look at Alicia Waters, looks like ALICIA, Alicia. It looks what it looks like, but it's Alicia Waters. She's actually had lymphoma for 8-9 years. I would look at her testimonial on the Be Activating Telegram. Energy enhancer sleeves for 2 weeks because you have to wear them. Yes, that's correct. I agree with that, but they wanted to keep the price point the same. And so since there is a white patch and a tan patch, there's 30 patches. Just like, say, for example, in this patch, there's 30 patches. So that's why it's only a 15-day supply. And also what happens with people is they find that they do start to have a lot of energy just from the X39 alone. So sometimes they don't even need the energy enhancer for energy. Charity, that's a great question. Why do some people get instant relief from IceWave and some don't? IceWave is about finding the place where there's stuck energy. And so when we say white right, tan left, we are going with the polarity of the body, right? Negative and positive. And so you're opening up those energy channels. You can also do what's called the clockwise method, and that's finding that spot and then moving the, like putting the tan one on the pain and putting the white one around it, 3, 6, 9, 12, right? And that opens up energy channels as well too. So if you don't get pain relief right away, move the patches around. You haven't found the actual source of the pain. You may think the pain's here, but it's coming from up in here. So move them around. What patch should I say to wear in the same spot for a while? I'm sorry, I do not remember. Oh, thank you, Thomas. Eliza, you have to tell me what I was referencing. I'm sorry. I just run through these so fast, it just pulls it out. Oh, thank you. Thanks, Andrea. I feel amazing. I really do. I've just overused my voice and it needs a break for some reason. So, which is crazy, but it's all good. I feel great. Why we're in the same spot for 7 days. So when you look at each patch is a different acupuncture point. So it's signaling a different meridian, obviously working on a different meridian. So a different set of organs or systems that are being impacted. So we like to give it that time frame because we can see changes in our clinical studies after 7 days. And so we like for you to give it that 7-day period on that exact same spot to be able to see those differences. That's a great question though. Deep muscle pain and you take prednisone, you can still take your prednisone and use the patches. Thank you, Beth. Pam, if you go to startx39now.com, you'll see I don't know what the name of the video is called, but just scroll down, it's on there. Oh, you're so sweet, you guys. Thank you. Yeah, the thing is, I've never had this happen. Literally, I just woke up yesterday with my throat, felt fine, but I couldn't talk. So I have no idea why. I don't know. It's all good. Okay, so let's see. I know we've got 1 minute left. Thank you, guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. You're so sweet. Post breast cancer. That's what Marcy has been dealing with as well as Laura. I know they use X39 Eon and carnosine glutathione. Thank you, Lori. Adrenal stress between 3 and 4, lower overall cortisol with Eon. Thank you for sharing that. That's fantastic. Feel bloated after eating? SP6 is great, yes. And carnosine. Believe it or not, a lot of times you can put carnosine like right here on your, like below your chest, you know, but above your belly button. That's a great thing to help with bloating. You're very welcome, you guys. Very, very welcome. All right. So if you have any other questions, just get back with the person that I do have honey in my tea. I love you. You guys are so sweet. Honey, lemon. Yes, I'm doing all the things, I promise. I think it's just talking too much. I'll be fine tomorrow. But if you guys have any other questions, get back with the person that invited you. They're more than happy to help you, get you connected with somebody else that may be able to answer your questions if they can't for some reason. And of course, you know, they can also help you get set up with the patches that work best for you. Just remember, you want to start slow. We really like the X39 and Eon together. We really like to help reduce the inflammation in the body. At the same time, we're elevating the body's stem cell production. And so you can use these other patches. It may seem overwhelming, all the patches, but just start slow with it, because that's what's most important, is that you're getting results. Guys, all right, I'm out. My voice says I'm done. So thank you guys for being here tonight. Love you all so much. And we'll see you next Tuesday. Thank you.